So understanding your root folder is like plays a big role in like designing a good. So we start by creating a folder. Okay, create a folder on your desktop or your document or wherever you want. Okay, then give it a name. Okay, like HTML classes. I would name mine. Okay, I would give it HTML class. Then, so this folder can be on a desktop or document or just for the sake of this class. Now we're going to just put it there on the desktop. We're going to open the folder. Okay. So, like our website is going to live here. Okay, in this folder. Double click and open the folder. Okay. Then we're gonna our site is gonna have images, it's gonna have CSS, it's gonna have like eventually we're gonna talk about JavaScript, so a JS folder, and then like a number of files with extension of HTML or HTML. So we're gonna start by creating a new folder within the mother folder. Give it a name of images. So just to be structured and organized. Okay. Then create another folder and name it CSS. So in images folders, all your images gonna go in that folder. Okay. And then in the CSS, all your style sheets go within that. Because in a document, in an HTML document, you can have many style sheets, okay, not only one. And then eventually we're going to be looking at JS. So this is a short for JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript, the dynamic side of the web. Okay, JS. So all our JavaScript, so eventually when we do the JavaScript classes, all our JavaScript documents or files are going to go into this folder. Go to your go to your code editor.
And then new save.
Go to the bracket. Everybody's following?
Yes, sir.
File new. Create a new file. Alright, so we're gonna file, the same file and save it as. Okay, and look for your root folder. Okay, mine was on desktop, HTML classes. Open it and save the file as style.css. It doesn't have to be named style. You can name it anything you want, but this is a naming convention. Like, it's very common. A lot of developers, they would name this style CSS or main CSS or my style.css or okay.
Don't we need to open CSS and save it there?
Oh yeah, we're gonna name it. Just name it first, yeah. Then go to the CSS folder, open it, and save it there. Okay, hit save. Right now we got ourselves a style sheet that is blank, tabula rasa. Okay. Now open another file, create a new file. Okay, and then save it as Now we're gonna save this in the root folder. Where is it? We go to desktop. Everybody's following?
Yes, sir.
Now this one is gonna be in the root folder. Okay? Save it as, well, if you want this to be your front page, name it index.html or index.htm. You need just to be consistent. If you name all your files HTML with an HTML extension, you gotta follow that. And if you give them like a HTML extension, you gotta be consistent. Index at the front page. Some people, they would name it a default.html, but that's not very common. The front page, you can give it a default.html, but the index.html, that's the most common. So then hit save. Okay. So we're gonna go back to our. So everybody has this structure. Like we have 3 folders and 1 file. So CSS folder, images, and index. Now we're gonna go back to our. Where is target? Right here. Okay, so this is. Okay, so we're gonna open our. Let's narrow this. So now our folder is not here. Okay, so we're gonna navigate and import it into the project. This is a functionality that's good to in this. You go to this right here. What it says, it says, and click and open folder. Navigate to the desktop and then click on your folder. Click on the folder, right? Then open. And you got yourself here, everything is ready to go. We are all on the same page? So now it's clean, and you know how to navigate, you know the ins and outs of your folder, the files it contains. So it's easy. Even the editor, it can give you hints because it's smooth. Like your CSS, it gives you hints to where things are. Okay? So open your index.html. And then create the bare bones HTML5 document. Yeah? So you remember?
Yep.
Remember the short? So now, like, this is how you should proceed with any project you have. You have to know where your folder is, what are the documents, then take everything to the editor. So now you have a visual, you have an idea about your folder. You know where are things and stuff. So easy to navigate and go and get things. Now, first and most important thing, you have to always give a title to your document. So we're going to give it today HTML. HTML5. Okay, yeah, HTML5. HTML5 layout or HTML5 elements, or I just leave it HTML5. Okay, so now before we start again, now you can start like going and writing code and styling it, but what I would do, I always link my CSS to my HTML document. So you do link and hit tab, and it's gonna suggest you what it is. It should tell you what it is. Okay, it's gonna say CSS. It's in there, and you're good. So this is how you start, like clean code, very organized. So and be very simple too. So we're gonna be seeing all that stuff later on. So now, well, HTML5. Let's HTML5 site. Okay, because we're gonna build a site here. So we're gonna use do you remember the HTML elements we saw? Okay, so the first one is the header, right? Header. So the header is the top thing that's on a site where your branding goes. The name of your company, the logo, the phone number and stuff, Okay. So the header. And in our header we're gonna have a header, we're gonna give it a title. We instead of importing an image or something, let's just do with an h1 tag as a header. Let's do a website about news, let's say. Okay. And sometimes in some websites you see like the logo. There's a title, then a subtitle, a small one, right? Yeah, we're gonna do that one using I would do it using small. There is a mistake here. Local and regional news. Okay, let's just for the sake of this. Okay, so we have ourselves a header. Okay, so this is the top part of our website. Okay, then a website always needs a navigation. So to make it easier for users to explore what you got there, okay, providing links and stuff. So, and the HTML5 tag is nav, okay. So you see the indentation, you have to follow the order to ident here. You don't have to, but for the sake of clarity, make your code easy to read, okay. And then hit a tab. So in our navigation, most of the time a navigation is made of a list. It's an unordered list because you don't want to put ordered list there. You can, but yeah. So we're gonna see UL. Well, let's do 4 links. Okay, let's do 4 links. So we need. So ULLI. We need 4 of those, and we need an anchor tag. You know the anchor tag? And this anchor tag contains a lorem, one word. Okay, let's say 5. Okay, you need an ordered list, and within this unordered list you need a list item. How many list items you need? Let's say 5 or 4 or whichever you want. And then within this list item we need an anchor tag. And within the anchor tag we need a text that contains one word. Okay? Hit the tab. There we go. We have a navigation with 5 or whatever you chose. Then for now we're gonna these links, this ahref or href. Some people, some developers would say href, or some would say href. Okay. Now we don't want to go nowhere. We're just gonna put a hashtag there. Okay. We don't want to link them. So far, we don't want them to go nowhere. Okay. The hashtag. It's self. So do you have the same structure like here? You see this like the gap here, the indentation. It shows you like elements within elements. So click on body. Click on body. It colors the bottom too, right? Click on head. Click on nav. Click on UL. So within the body we have everything. And within the header we have this. And then we're going to have our main content. So today I'm going to introduce a new one. It's called main. Okay. So main, it's like, because that's why they call them semantic elements. Semantic, in linguistics is like it has a meaning. So now comes our main content. So now our main content, we're gonna have sections. Okay, let's have a first section of like local news. So how would you do this first? So let's do section. So section has to be within main, right? Okay. Then so the first section, always the header goes like according to the standards of HTML5. The header goes within the section, and then we're gonna create an article. Okay. So let's do an H2. Because we had an H1 already here, right? Yeah. Like according to some of the Google recommendations to figure out. This is one of the million things. Each page has to have one H1 tag. One H1 tag. Okay, one H1. Why? Because H1, as I told you before, it states important news or important things about your page. Because if your first page is about selling, I don't know what, you gotta put the name of that. Okay, like I don't know, local news or whatever your page is about has to be in the H2, and then followed by H2 less important, H3 less important. And then the Google, when it crawls, it says, oh, this is important things. And it goes, when it says H2, oh, this is related to this. And you go, this is how Google now ranks you through your content. Does it make sense? Are people coming and see your content? Do they come again and see it? It has to make sense. Tab, and we call it like local news. Okay? So you now like, our website is about news. Now, before you start even designing, this is just for the sake of making, before even start designing or think, you're going to think, oh, my site is about news, for instance. Then, in the main page, I'm going to have a section for local news and a section for regional news or international news or whatever. And the same holds true for other things you want to do. Like you selling a pizza, a section I want to do my menu, another section I want to do my specials. If you know to do layout, you can lay out any website. You play with the content. Okay? So here, like local news. Then that content that has the same goes together, because local news, it has to go together, right? You're not going to put some international news within the local news. Okay? So it has to be in article. Okay, so we said in our section we're going to have local news, and the local news are going to be in article, right? Article. So the heading local news. So we're going to do an article. So article, we say a homogeneous content that goes together. Okay. Article. And then in the article, like this our content, like we want to talk about so local news, and then you're gonna have some content, and that content is gonna have a headline, right?
Yeah.
A headline or okay, so we're gonna give it a title. So let's here local news. Okay, here too, like the head. You know the heading we did on top here, the heading.
Yeah.
You can have a heading here too. A heading not necessarily on top of a website. A heading, it can be a heading of an article, a heading of a section. Okay, let's do a heading for the article. Okay, heading, and we're gonna put H1 tag. I mean, you make it easy to crawl, easy to. So then we have like the heading. Then we have an H2 tag there. What we need now? Our title has to be H3, right?
Yeah.
So H3, we're gonna say local news. What is some title about local news?
Lost cat.
Joe lost
His cat.
his cat. And then under the H tag, you know why we put there? Because they are siblings, the title and the P tag. So P, and within P we need some lorem text. Let's say 30. Okay? No, sorry. I mean, no. So, yeah. Command X. Yeah, this has to be outside the heading. Command V. Yeah, but you see sometimes in the heading, like of an article or something, there is an author written by or something. Yeah, let's do that in a small thing. This article is by Joe the plumber. Hmm? Okay. So you see what we're playing here? Everything is organized, yeah? You know which is which, where does go where, what's nested within what. Okay? So an article, and we have here, okay? Local news. Let's have 2 articles in this local news, okay? So in local news you need to have 2 articles or 3 or you know. Let's just take this one. Take article, okay? And then Command C, copy. Copy and go to here, to the last of articles. Just copy all this article. We just want to duplicate it. Command C and go to the end. You gotta be careful. Go to the end. Do like 2 spaces and Command V. Right? So change this title here. Joe lost his cat. Mary found it. By the average Joe. Now, so we finished with the like local news. Okay, we need like region. So regional news, we're gonna copy the entire section. Yeah. Command C, and then enter 2 times, and Command V. And then go to local news and change it by like regional news. Mm-hmm. Joe.
At a line.
Huh?
Not having
Speaks dirty. Okay, so let's save and go and see what we got so far. Okay, so save file. So we're gonna here's our document. Our H1 navigation, local news, Jew and buy and Okay, yeah. Let me just point out to something very interesting here. Okay, so here on top here, you have to specify what is this like. Okay, shift. You're gonna do left the angle bracket, then another angle bracket, then shift 1. Then hyphens. Then in here you specify. It's easy for people to understand what's that. This is our CSS. So this explains this. This is our CSS. Okay. You can go about doing it. Okay. The header of the site. Okay. What's left in our site? Yeah. So footer. You remember the thing, the copyright symbol? What do we do?
shift and
%, yeah. And copyright. And copy. Then you do the year 2016 MSW all rights reserved. Yeah, that's your footer, that's the section. And if you wanna, like to ident, if you wanna ident, like just select and hit tab. Select and hit tab. It's gonna push it. Okay, Command Z. Save your work, and let's go to the browser and see the fruits. Okay, so here, yeah, let's see what happened here. There we go. So we haven't done anything. We just have our content well structured, footer. You see, now it's time to style and position, like the positioning of elements and styling. So here, like you see, is a lot of gap. There's margins, a lot of padding. That's the default. So if you start working from defaults, it's you're trying to override the defaults. You're going to spend a lot of code just overriding the default. So I want to eliminate those defaults. I don't want to see them there. There are some people, they say the CSS reset. if you go and Google this CSS, like the one that's famous is like the Myers CSS reset. It's just a bunch of tags, and in the end you see margin 0, padding 0. But my preferred way is just one single line, and it does the job all. Some developers, they don't like it. I just love to do it. Easy. Now we're going to go to our CSS folder. What we're going to do now, we're going to reset this. You know, the browser, we didn't do anything with the styling, but the browser gave us these defaults. Okay, so in order not to spend a lot of time and code overriding the defaults, we're going to introduce the CSS reset. Okay, so we're going to go to our editor, and we're going to go to our CSS. Okay, this is the thing we're going to do. Like, we're going to do a star, open angle bracket and close angle bracket. Okay, then do margin 0, padding 0. This is a universal rule. The star is a universal. It goes to all the elements in your HTML. Whatever you say, whatever you put here is going to go to all the elements and apply to them. Yeah, there is this star too. Yeah, we're going to save. Yeah, Command S, and then we're going to go back. See, it happened already. See how things now, they shrink. There is nothing. Okay, yeah, here's how to do a CSS command. Like, easiest way, you get forward slash, come here and do 2 stars, and then right. Because if you do like this, Command X, and you come here and do it here, Command V, see, it's going to gray out this, which means, hey, this is, don't look at this. Okay, and you could specify, like, if you can play with this too. You can do forward slash, then a star. You can play with it and do something like this. Okay, then return and do something like this. You just want to be very, then do a star forward slash, and then right here like a okay, CSS reset. Okay, and then you write any title here, like, yeah, your command, yeah, goes here. Let's style our heading. Okay, so if we say header, because we have like a multiple headers, right? No, I mean in terms of, let's go back to the okay, let's go to HTML. Yeah, either go here or go here, like you see. Look, I mean, just, yeah, if you I'll show you another. You can go here too. Yeah, I just made a little mistake here. It's a header, not a heading. Yeah, a header. There's no heading. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that. It's a header. A header. All of them, there's titles like header. هنا طبعا عندنا header like in multiple places so yeah so like these ones how we target it header like header this is our header like we're gonna give it a class of like a class of we're gonna do class header top okay then if you want to make sure just like copy it Control C and then Control V or Command V on a Mac then curly braces and then okay so what do we want to do with our header so we're gonna give it a background so you could either say background or background color okay yeah I'm just gonna give it dark blue yeah this is just for this you can and then we're gonna get color when we say background color is the container and when we say color is the content within the type type is the type when I say the type which means the paragraph each one I give it like a F2CC11 okay so like if we look at our header like it's the text bumps into the side so what do we need to do to solve this problem you have your text is bumping against the okay so padding so the padding what would you padding okay padding of let's say well top and bottom 10 pixels you can play with the values okay top bottom and then top and bottom is 10 left and right I'm gonna give it like a 20 pixels you see it's okay so now we're gonna move and style the what next thing here we have is the navigation so what's the selector we're targeting nav so we target the so now we're gonna just write nav no dot no hashtag nothing then curly brace open curly brace and close curly brace we're gonna give it some background color okay so background well let's give it I'm gonna give it the same color as the type and see what's gonna happen Control C V Western Union color yeah we're gonna see the color scheme and all that later on now just for the sake of we're interested in the layout we give it these colors just to distinguish which is which right okay so we and the nav we want to give it like a little padding of like 5 pixels let's say 5 pixels see it bumps a little bit get them in okay now so we want to target the elements within the nav the best way is to drill down some people they would say LIA no whatever if you have an LI down the road in other part of the site then it's gonna inherit the same styling properties and stuff so we drill down we want the go to our nav okay get me the UL and get the LI and then display them There we go. Go to ULLI, then the A, anchor tag, open curly brace, close curly brace, and then we want to give them a blue color, okay? We want to give them a color. Yeah, just like we go, yeah, we give them a color of same color as the header, dark blue, yeah. Then we want to get rid of that underline, text decoration, none. So now, so we're gonna give it a font. If you wanted the font to be bold, what's the properties? Font weight. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I would go 700. That's too much. You can say bold. You can say you can use numbers. 400. Let's say 600. Yeah, 600 is a lot. I would go with 500. Okay. You can change the. Give it to your favorite font. What's the font family? Arial. You see how it changed? I like the Arial because it's in every computer. It's safe. Okay, now we want some space, like okay, margin, right. Let's give it 20 pixels and see what's gonna happen. Yeah, 20. I'll make it 15. No, 50 is a lot. 15. Yeah, let's very quickly. Let's go back to our HTML. We want to wrap our site. You remember this? Okay, put it in a box. So we're gonna wrap it in a div. Okay. So wrap div ID wrap, and then we're gonna X. Start from the top, yeah, wrap all the way to under main, under the footer. It's gonna wrap the entire thing. Yeah, we want the footer to contain that. Okay, so div. Okay, so like here, we want to just to do like here. We start with the body. Let's do the body first. Go to the top under this body. So if we do this, we can take this font family Arial from header. And font size is like, let's give it 14 pixels right now. Like between 14 and 16. And line height, remember line height?
Yes.
1.5 m. So if we take this font family from Arial header, it's gonna still work. Okay. One font size. Okay. So we're gonna go down now, all the way down, and we're gonna target our wrapper. We wanna give a width to our site. A width. Okay. So we're gonna do we have an ID that starts with hashtag, then wrap, curly brace, curly brace. So what are we gonna do with this wrap? Okay, we're gonna give it because you see now we have a lot of elements, but we cannot target to give them each one a width. You see, it doesn't make any sense. You gotta spend the entire night header width. But if you put them in a box, you give the width just to that box, and it contains everything. Yeah, they call it the box model. You put stuff in a box and move it wherever you want. Okay. Yeah. So we want to give it a width. I always go with width of 960. I go with what? 1000. It's like YouTube channel width kind of thing, pixel. You can do 960. You can leave it wide, 1000 pixel. So let's save at this point. Command S and Command S on. Save top and bottom right. Save your HTML document and save your CSS to our friends here. Let's click here. Let's enlarge this. So if we refresh, you see, it's still not centered, right? Let me give it, for the sake of this, let me just give it, let me see here. I'm gonna give it 90, just to show you the concept. If you want to center this, what we do? Margin, auto. Okay. Then Command S, go here, make this a little bigger. You see now how it's centered? What if we want to give it a breathing room from the top?
From where?
From the top. We want it to be a little bit down. What do we do? No, with the same rule. The same rule where we're gonna do margin 20 pixels, then auto. You tell it, give me 20 from the top and auto from left and right.
But this one you
Yeah, Command S. See now you have a breathing room on top. Okay, let's go to our, we have two sections, right?
Yeah.
Section, let's give it a background of two, but okay, so section background of like a background dark. Oh yeah, a dark with just no C. We're gonna do a margin top for the section of a. I'm gonna go big, 12 pixels. Okay, go big. Then we have articles. Okay. Article. Give it a background of white. And the section, give it a padding of 10 pixels. You see the effect we're driving at? Like, just 10 is a lot. Just let's do just 8 pixels. I would go with just 5. Yeah. And then you see the articles here, they are bumped into each other. Okay? We need the padding there too. We're going to give them quite a big padding of 20 pixels. See how things now like enlarge? Things are coming over now. A margin top. Which one? Yeah, just take it. Margin top 5 pixels. The article, give it a margin of 5% to give a breathing room of this one. We go to nav, and you do margin top 1 pixel. Another footer is very quickly footer. Yeah, just footer. Okay. Nah, what am I doing? Footer, like we're gonna give it a background of, like, let's say black. Okay. Color white, FFF. And then text align. What does it do, this text align? Center. I want to give it a height of yeah. I want to give it a height of 40 pixels. Okay. Then فاش اعطيه الهايت اوف باش تجيب داك الكتابة في الوسط. You do the height, the line height exactly as the height. Line height. A line height of 40 pixels too. It vertically centers the footer. Command S. You good? Background color, text align center, height 40, line height. Then you save, and let's go. You see our footer? Looks good. And هنا شوف ايش قلنا text align center. هذا قلنا له جيبوا لنا الوسط. وعطيناها 40 height وline height هي اللي جابت لنا هنا in the middle. So you see the footer, its font size is a little big. Yeah, I would go footer. Font size 12 pixels. Command S. The font size أعطيه 12 pixels. The footer. See, now it's like it's a little smaller. The main هي اللي إلا مشيتي CSS ال HTML هذا هتلقاه إما غدير footer margin top ولا غدير main margin bar. It just depends. But I'm gonna do main margin bottom. نسيت يا صاحبي. Yeah, 30 is a lot. Yeah, just 20 pixels. Yeah, 20 pixels is good. I mean, it's relative. You can do whatever you want. Like, let's do this. Okay, so we have ourselves a main. I didn't do a side. Had a side that is an HTML5 element too, and tab. Okay, and zero like some H2 title.
Side.
يا أنا هتمشي لتحت main. Okay, تحت main دير aside. I'll show you the reason why I put it there. Aside هو is an element that has like some like content that's related in some way, not remotely related to the content of articles of the site. It's just an aside. You put some stuff on it. And let's refresh. Okay, see, like here شو هذه في كاين هنا التحتاني عندي هنا تما بينها تكون لحقاش ويدين ستايل. دابا هذه بغينا نجي وهذه دابا هذه بغينا نجيبوها لهنا تكون هنا تكون هنا في الجن. شنو غادي نديرو؟ what do we do؟ بغينا نجيبوها تكون هنا. We have to minimize the width of this first. Why? Let's look at this. Width 640. Okay,
640 غادي نحطو
No ما كاين الوسط. It's gonna shrink. It's not gonna go. Remember, we don't do margin. No, we're not specifying any margin here. 640 pixels. Let's see what's gonna happen. Control S, refresh. She's not trying to. You see? Easy. Is it easy? If you want to mimic this site like this, but you have to know the box, what's behind moving that. Now, how we can move this thing? Well, let's give it a background too. A side. Okay.
السايد يا الله
Okay, so a side width 300. Okay, 300 pixels. Okay, to see it, let's give it a background. Best color, I guess, would here dark blue. Okay, let's give it a here. You see, color. F. So here is now what's gonna happen. We gave it 300, right? 300. So we're gonna give it. We want to bump it. The text. We need a padding, right? Padding. So a padding of. Let's give it a 20. So دابا حيت عطيناه padding 20 راه اللانك ديالو راه مبقاتش 320 مبقى 300. So 300 plus 20 padding plus 20. So let 340. Huh? Oh, when you add the padding, you see it, you think it still has 300. It's 320, 340. Okay? So هنا فاش كدير الحساب ديال how many you're gonna give it, take into account the padding and the margin. غير شوف غير left or right لحقاش let me just prove you this. لحقاش we're trying to squeeze it here. Top and bottom we don't care. Okay, but left and right. So let's see whether it's gonna fit or no. Okay, so 340 640 شحال 980. So it's not gonna fit here. Let's see here. So you remember when we want to position, I think, what do we do? We're gonna float it. Okay, so a lot of okay, I promise you, my friend, this is the last one. So float, what are we gonna float it? To the right. Okay. Control S. دابا هنا في هاد الفلوت هادي فين a lot of problems happen. You see what comes here? Because it's too wide. Huh? It's too wide. So باش تكون عندنا space. باش يكون عندنا space. أنت. Let's do this. ها أنت. هاد 300 راه عنده 300 already.
240.
We're gonna do no, hold on one second. We're gonna do margin. We're gonna add this to the margin left. Margin left نديرو غير 15 pixels. Okay, they're 20. So دير هاد margin left زيد على. That's why if you understand this concept, you can position it. ولكن after we're gonna see it. No. So we have 340, 360.
240.
Yeah, but it's small, but it's still sticking down there.
Yeah.
Why?
مثل خاص تخرج كده فوق
No.
هذيك اللي فوقها
Yeah.
دير لها رولاتيف باش تطلع
No.
دابا فلوس
هنا دابا هادشي اللي كنشوفو هنايا دابا كاين واحد الكونتينر ماشي لا راب the main هذاك we have to float it and then this one is gonna go up
هو الفلوس في
left دابا هنا هذا شويه الدوخه دابا غادي تبدا how to position yeah that's the other dizzy stuff that's gonna happen I told you a lot of weird stuff is gonna happen and if ولكن when you understand these concepts فين هو الفوتر where the hell is the footer هنا دابا شنو درنا كنت when I was explaining في الفلو you just understand this concept and we're gonna leave when you float شتي فاش كتفلوتي لا فاش كتفلوتي واحد الاليمنت داك الاميديت الاليمنت اللي تحتو كيتبعوا وداك النورمال هاد الشيء هاد الكونتنت هذا ما شايفش كاع هادو بالنسبه ل HTML it doesn't say this so there is one line of code that's gonna fix all this and this line of code is gonna be هذا غادي يكون هنايا في الفوتر ديما كنمشيو لذاك الاليمنت اللي ايميديت هو اللي كنديروا له هذا غادي نقول له شو clear both which means like clear any floats around you I don't want any float to be around here هو ذاك الفوتر كيهبط لتحت and he left everything good command S شي الفوتر فين ولا you good ها like at the what is it, the aside we're gonna give it just like a margin of just 8 يعني 12 بقات لنا 12 52 yeah and then I want to do margin top like it was bumping against like a margin you're gonna see what I do now margin top well 25 pixels I guess we'll do padding oh okay yeah I was not at padding ديالش aside we did the padding of 20 right yeah no 20 I was not targeting this like I was targeting this margin left 8 command S دابا غنقول لكم شتي دابا فين هبطتها شويه هنا لتحت you see how I targeted that I give it a class and target it let me just explain to you here هاد مشينا لهنايا عندنا داك aside مشيت لهذا عطيته a class of middle makes sense because that's the middle box وكان هاد الميدل هادي جبتها لهنايا قلت لها background this color easy it sounds like but the difficult stuff is how you get them there that's the big job and you can style like give more like border radius and all that شتي كيفاش درت لهم border radius how they look you don't do copy or something file save as شنو عندنا قبيله about save as وسميه مثلا about.html فين بغينا نسيفيوه نسيفيوه هنايا ها انت save it alright